A transition masterclass from Kate Worth and an attack that if come 1 kilometer earlier, she might have been able to win this race. This is the grand final of the 2025 T100 season. The race to Qatar is over with the standings looking like this before this race. We've got Taylor Spivey, Paula Findlay, Hannah Berry, Lucy Byram and Jess Lehmann here. And if any of those podium girls, Lucy Charles Barclay, Kate Worth and Julie Deron, win this race today, they have the chance to also win the overall world title. The only athlete out of the top 10 that's not here is the good swimmer Taylor Knipp, who this course might have suited. We've got a standard 2-lap course, but the conditions were choppy. And so as the athletes get underway at 10 a.m., we see quite a lot of waves, and this means that the swim is rough. It's also a fairly hot one, 25.9 degrees water temperature, so no wetsuit allowed. Again, something that suits the better swimmers, with air temperature almost being 29 degrees. And right from the start we have Lucy Charles Barclay going off really hard, trying to split the group, and she lines it out really well. But on the backside of this course, we see right here the conditions are extremely hard, and so it's tough to really make a difference. You see they are barely moving compared to the skyline here. And so as they come onto the construct for the Aussie exit at the first turn, Lucy Charles Barclay leads the race in front of Jess Lehmann, Sada Peder-Salah and Kate Worth. They are also in the front group, and Julie Deron, the third big favorite, already loses around 30 seconds here, so she is caught behind, and the other athletes are trying to help Lucy with the pacing over the second lap, and this leads to an incredibly fast second lap compared to the second group, who is really starting to lose some ground. Lucy Charles Barclay leads us out of the water in second position. We've got Jess Lehmann and Kate Worth is also there. So Julie Deron, the only one of those favorite of those title contenders who does not make it out the water with this front group. We look at the entire swim, and at the end, Julie loses 1 minute 20. So a lot of time, but she is in that big second group. Kate Worth is though an incredibly quick transitionist, and so as they run onto the transition zone, she moves in front of Jess Lehmann and gets out of transition in first place, with Sada Peder-Salah just behind her, and Lucy Charles Barclay makes her way with Georgia Taylor-Brown and Jess Lehmann out on the bike course as well. Julie Deron a bit fast to get into the bike, 1 or 2 seconds more would have maybe done her good, and she didn't have that little moment here, but nothing to worry about as she gets onto the bike course as well. We've got 6 laps on the bike, 13.3 kilometers per lap, standard Middle Eastern course, and basically no elevation apart from 1 or 2 bridges down and up to the motorway. Anything else completely flat and big wide roads that Kate Worth can enjoy now alone in front, because she got that little gap through transition. But Lucy Charles Barclay knows if she wants any chance to win the title here, she needs to win the race, and so she needs, with the front group, she needs to stick with them during the bike ride, and so she makes her move on Georgia Taylor-Brown right here. Meanwhile, Julie Deron, over 1 minute back, she gets overtaken by her countrywoman Imogen Simmons, and we think maybe there will be some sort of athlete to athlete help going on, but that really didn't happen. Jess Lehmann catches up with Kate Worth though, and shortly after also Lucy Charles Barclay makes this a 3-woman lead group with some incredible firepower here at the front of the race. Julie Deron, meanwhile, she seemed to struggle a little bit, and so she had some athletes come around her, Taylor Knipp for example right here, and Julie was very lucky in my opinion to have some strong women on the bike with her, because otherwise she would have lost even more time, I think. Kate Worth, after being alone, she now moves behind those front 2 athletes and stays there for quite a while. Georgia Taylor-Brown and India Lee a minute back, with everybody else more than 2 minutes behind at this point, and they're motoring, they're going fast, they're overtaking some even faster cars than them, and the feed zone is a little bit of an issue. You see Lucy Charles discarding her bottle and Kate Worth as well, and suddenly she's signaling, and I think what happened was she basically said this is a little too short of a time because they need to discard the bottles when that sign arrives, and the sign in the next lap was moved a bit further behind so that the athletes have more time to take on their fluids to cool themselves down. So really well done by the PTO once again to just improve during the race. But after around 2/3 of this bike course, we suddenly saw Kate Wolf dangling a bit. Here again, just a few kilometers later, she is dangling behind the front too. And nobody knows exactly why. I think she's just pacing herself. Jess Lehmann looking around there as well. She did this in Dubai as well. So nothing really to worry about, but just something interesting as we see the lap count they have implemented. Julie Deron and Paula Findlay still in the front group. And as we get onto transition, Kate Wolf, she knows what to do. Transition masterclass, as I said, she moves to the front in order to get into transition in P1. Lucy Charles-Barclay and Jess Lehmann both with their little issues here. Jess just losing her bike, nothing crazy, but that cost you time. And as we look onto the stats for the bike course, Lucy Byram actually with the fastest time of the day. Really, really, really happy for her after what she's been through. And the front group takes around 30 seconds more on Julie Deron, so she's now almost 2 minutes behind the lead of the race, and India Lee and Georgia Taylor-Brown are still just about a minute ahead. So a big day of work on the run for Julie Deron if she still wants to win this race. But Kate Wolf with an incredibly quick transition, meaning that she is first onto the run course, with Georgia Taylor-Brown and India Lee also getting ready for her run, and Julie Deron coming onto the transition with that third big group. We look onto the run course. It's an entire straight flat run course. Again, 6 laps, 3 kilometers. Very, very easy, very straightforward. And Julie Deron comes out 1 3/4 minutes behind the lead of the race, with Taylor-Brown 1:18 and Charles-Barclay and Lehmann already losing time to a flying Kate Wolf, who after 6 kilometers took over a minute on everybody. Lucy Charles-Barclay here in second, but all these places they would change. Julie Deron now catches up to Georgia Taylor-Brown after not even 7 kilometers into the run, and we have hope. Maybe this will work out. Maybe Kate Wolf overpaces because the gap stayed the same, but it did not really matter today. They overtook Lucy Charles-Barclay and Jess Lehmann already before that and are now around 1.5 minutes behind. So they're on a mission. Charles-Barclay is out of the title run at this point because she just didn't have the day after a big season and also after winning the 70.3 World Championships. And after 12 kilometers, it just has not changed. It has absolutely nothing has changed for Kate Wolf. These two guys still running in second and third together. And 3.1 kilometers from the finish, Georgia Taylor-Brown on this little rise here goes past Julie Deron. And she thinks, and we're thinking, okay, this is for second place. She's doing what she can to take a good result. Julie Deron is now also out of contention for the title as we go on to the final lap. Professional bell count, by the way. And Kate Wolf only has 3 kilometers left. But suddenly the gap comes down. You see, after just a few kilometers, Georgia Taylor-Brown already taking some huge chunks. And suddenly we only have 50 seconds left with 2 kilometers to go. So we think maybe Georgia Taylor-Brown still has a chance of actually catching Kate Wolf. But unfortunately for her, it did not work out. And on the final meters, we see her moving very weirdly, Kate Wolf. And I'm thinking, does she have a cramp? No, she is actually trying to hold it in. She's puked her guts out just after the finish line. She's struggling to hold it in, but she wins the title. She wins the race, and an incredible achievement for her, with Georgia Taylor-Brown coming second, just 21 seconds behind, and Julie Deron very happy with third place. So overall, a very good day for Julie Deron, but it wasn't enough for her or for Lucy Charles to dethrone Kate Wolf from that first place. Honorable mention is Ashley Gentle. After having a miscarriage just a few weeks ago, she wanted to race, she raced, and she got out on the swim with a very big deficit, but with a 1:05 you can just make up so much time, and so she finishes 6th place in this race, with Caroline Pohle rounding out the top 10. These are the final results of the race to Qatar. Holly Lawrence in 10th place, with Lucy Byram and Taylor Knibb finishing 9th and 8th. Georgia Taylor-Brown needed this big result to move into the top 10. She's 7th now. Ellie Salthouse is behind Jess Lehmann, with the aforementioned Ashley Gentle being just off the podium, and Lucy Charles-Barclay finished 3rd, 10 points behind Julie Deron, with Kate Wolf winning the world title of this 2025 series. It's been a big one. There will be more videos about this season, and I hope you liked this recap. Consider subscribing, consider liking and watching the other videos. I will see you soon. Bye bye.